Are you thinking about buying a home in Coppell, Texas? In this video, I'm going to share everything you need to know about living in Coppell. I'm Keela McGraw, your favorite Dallas-Fort Worth realtor. We've helped a lot of people relocate to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. When people reach out to us, one of the things that they certainly mention is that they want to be centrally located between Dallas and Fort Worth. Some cities that are centrally located that often come up are Irving, Arlington, and Grand Prairie. So yes, all of those cities are centrally located, but there is one gem of a city that people usually don't know about, and that city is Coppell. Many people may be surprised that niche.com gave Coppell an overall rating of an A+. But the bigger surprise is that they also named Coppell as the #1 suburb to live in all of Dallas-Fort Worth. So I'm going to share some things that you need to know about Coppell. It is a smaller city. Only about 43,000 people live there, and it's only 14 square miles in size. So when you're thinking about a smaller city, centrally located, Coppell should definitely be one that you will consider. I also think it's important to mention that Coppell is one of those cities that has not experienced a huge population boom as some of the cities up north like Frisco or Prosper. Coppell's population has only increased by about 2,000 people since 2015. And the good news is that there's no expectation that the population is going to see that big increase of folks that we're seeing in some of these other growing cities. To help determine if Coppell is a good fit for you, I'll share some information about schools, crime, things to do, shopping, and of course I have to talk about housing. So stay to the end because you're going to be surprised by what I'm going to share about the housing market in Coppell. Let's get started with where Coppell is located. So Coppell is located just northwest of Dallas. It has access to several highways. You have Highway 121, which runs north and south. You also have Highway 635, which kind of does a semi-loop around Dallas. So if you need to go from one side of Dallas to another, 635 is definitely one of those highways that runs through Coppell. Living in Coppell, you also have easy access to the George Bush Turnpike, as well as Interstate 35. All of these highways are easily accessible to Coppell, so it's one of those positives of living in that city to be able to have access to various highways and be able to get around to different parts of the Metroplex. So Coppell is just northeast of the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. So you're only about a 5 to 10 minute drive to DFW Airport and 20 minutes to Dallas Love Field. So for those who need to travel, easy access to both of those airports, which is really a gem. And this is another reason why a lot of professionals who travel a lot like the city of Coppell, because you have easy access to both of those airports. Another great thing about where Coppell is located is that it's only about 25 minutes to downtown Dallas and 25 minutes to downtown Fort Worth. So going back to where Coppell is located, this is considered kind of like a prime location simply because you can get to things to do in Dallas easily as well as Fort Worth and not feel like you're traveling like an hour to do those things. Another thing to consider about living in Coppell is the cost of living. According to payscale.com, the cost of living is actually 5% lower than the national average. A lot of people relocating to the area move here simply because they like the lower cost of living. And so Coppell is one of those cities or suburbs that does have a lower cost of living than even the national average. And of course, housing cost is part of that. So stay tuned to the end of the video where I'll go over housing cost. So whenever you move to a new city, you want to know what is there to do in the city. Coppell does not disappoint. Its parks and recreation has done a great job of providing options for its residents. They have 17 parks, over 545 acres of parks. They also have lots of green space in Coppell, which is pretty refreshing when you think about where Coppell is located, right smack in the middle of DFW. So if you're a family or an individual that likes to spend a lot of time outside, Coppell does have options for you when it comes to outdoor recreation. So you can go hiking and biking and going on different trails. They also have facilities for soccer and baseball. So just because the city is smaller, it still is able to deliver those other amenities and things that you would find in other cities. The city of Coppell also hosts a number of community events throughout the year. A few of these events include Celebrate Coppell, which is held during the 4th of July. They also have a parade and a party during that time. The Flick or Treat happens around Halloween, and during that time you can watch a movie, and they also have a Trunk or Treat event going on. They also have holiday parades and a tree lighting ceremony around Christmas. So that's just the tip of the iceberg of what Coppell has to offer. Again, since it's a smaller city, they do really put in a lot of effort to make sure that there is a community feel with its residents. Keep in mind that Coppell is only about a 5 to 10 minute drive to Grapevine, and Grapevine, Texas has a ton of things to do. You have Great Wolf Lodge, Gaylord Texan, Bass Pro Shops, which our son loves to go there and see them feed the fish at Bass Pro. You also have Grapevine Mills, which has 180 stores just within that facility. So plenty of opportunities to shop there. Grapevine Mills also has a movie theater. They have Legoland, Sea Life, Brown One Bowling and Amusement, and of course, Rainforest Cafe. And speaking of shopping, Coppell does have your grocery stores such as your Tom Thumb, Kroger, Sprouts, shops like that. So it does not have your big box stores such as Target and Walmart. However, because of where Coppell is located, you can easily go to those stores in neighboring cities such as Grapevine, Irving, Louisville. All of those cities surround Coppell, and you have easy access to those cities to take advantage of those bigger box stores. Coppell also does not have a main shopping district or a mall, so you will have to go to those neighboring cities to do that type of shopping. But again, this is a 5 to 10 minute drive to these neighboring cities, so don't let that deter you from considering Coppell as a great option to live in. Although Coppell is a smaller city, it does have its own independent school district. Coppell Independent School District is one of the higher ranked districts in Dallas-Fort Worth. According to the Texas Education Agency, Coppell received an overall rating of an A, 97 out of 100. And Coppell Independent School District has historically maintained an A rating for their accountability. As a former educator and a parent, that is great news to hear about a school district maintaining that type of rating over the years. And also just knowing that if we did decide to live in Coppell, the school districts are solid. And that is one of the important factors that people consider when moving to an area. Coppell Independent School District is made up of 16 schools, and they serve 13,000 students. So I will say the crime rating in Coppell was a shocker to me. According to crimegrade.org, Coppell's overall crime and safety rating is a C. The city of Coppell also publishes a community crime map, and that shows what crimes are happening throughout the city, which I think is a great touch for citizens to be able to have access to that. Certainly you want to do your due diligence when you're researching any city. I do think that the city of Coppell is being very transparent, and this is a great tool to use if you are considering moving to the area. Earlier we talked about the cost of living in Coppell, and one of the biggest factors affecting cost of living is housing. The median cost of a home in Coppell as of September 2023 is $507,500. Comparing that to the DFW median home cost of $370,000, there's quite a difference between the price of homes in Coppell compared to the DFW median average of a home. If you compare housing costs to some of the surrounding cities, Coppell is less expensive than Flower Mound, which has a median housing cost of $617,000. And then you have Grapevine with a median housing cost of $555,000. Coppell's housing cost is more expensive than Louisville with $445,000 and Carrollton with $407,000. So $500,000 will get you a 3-bedroom, 2 to 3 bathroom, single family home around 2,000 square feet. So you'll get a nice solid home within that price point in Coppell. Coppell has more established neighborhoods than a lot of the other cities that we mentioned, but that doesn't mean that they are bad homes. You're going to find some quiet, well-maintained neighborhoods that are going to be a great option for you to live in. One of the things I do appreciate about Coppell is that The pride of ownership definitely shines through. If you drive through Coppell into the various neighborhoods, you'll see that people definitely take care of their property, not a lot of rundown areas. So that is one of the things that Coppell, I think, definitely does shine through. So if you want to buy a home in Coppell, you cannot drag your feet. Because it is a smaller community, there are not a lot of homes that hit the market. In September 2023, there were only 47 homes for sale in Coppell. And just be mindful that these homes do not sit on the market for hundreds of days. So you need to act fast if you do want to consider a home in Coppell. So there's typically only 40 to 70 homes for sale at a time, and they usually go under contract pretty quickly. So people do realize that when these homes hit the market, they are ready to move quickly, and you don't want to miss out on an opportunity. Do you have any questions about living in Coppell? Give me a call, text, or email, and I'll see you in the next video.